In this series, we're going to use the roller, which you can see Eleanor is already lying on, to open up the anterior shoulder girdle. So that involves kind of the pecs, the biceps, a bit of the anterior delts. So I'm going to actually give Eleanor a stretch first, and just because I've got the ball, I'm going to also work her midline connection. All right, so I'm going to give her a little bit of an assisted stretch. Again, this may not be something that you want to do or is within your scope of practice, but I'm just trying to get into a bit of pec minor there, which is a tight muscle that often rolls the shoulder forward. So the point of the roller is to allow the client to just really be able to open out. So I'm just assisting that by going like that. Again, that's a little pec minor stretch. All right. Because I have a really strong client here, I'm going to get her to use some weight. So she's going to hold on to those. Bring your arms up for me, and we're going to start with some scapula, surprise, surprise, isolation. So we're going to reach, that's our protraction. And what's really cool about the roller is now we've got some feedback to feel retraction. So the cue there is to wrap the shoulder blades around the roller. Reach up and then squeeze back. Good. That's it. Good. Do it again. Keep the elbows really straight. Yeah, remember, you're going to want to look for straight elbows in all of those. Fantastic. Now find for me that happy point between the two. Good. As soon as we found the happy point, we started to find width across the collarbones. And we're going to start with some arm arcs or overhead arms. Now, as we reach the arms back, in order to keep opening up that very upper thoracic and anterior shoulder, the ribs need to stay down. So show me some popping ribs. That's what we don't want to see. Good. This needs to stay down. So the range is only as far as this stays down. So that's overhead arms, also called arm arcs in the fundamentals. Now we can do that as a scissor action, also seen in the fundamentals. So back and forth. Same rules. Remember, we're back to our kind of shoulder dissociation. It's just being over the roller, we're getting all the extra benefit of the opening of the anterior shoulders. So we've actually seen this before. Now we're going to do also hug a tree, which is open and close. And we're just going to go into a range where we don't see change elsewhere. All right, now we're going to add more balance to hug a tree. So we're going to do one arm. And if the client struggles to balance, which they very well might, you could cue them to also squeeze into the ball. So squeeze into the ball as you take one arm out. Fantastic. You can also cue them to go smaller. Don't let them make a huge movement. Just work in the range where this is under control. And back. Good. So there's lots of funky variations you could do there. We're going to do one more. We're just going to come into this position out like this and then just reach up. Good. Up over the head. Well, that's good too. That's like a chest press. But we're going to reach up kind of over the head. Good. And then pull wide like an elbow, like a W. Good. One more. And reach wide. And W. Good. And now, Eleanor, come across your waist like you're about to take a jumper off and do some circles. Now, I'm going to keep the circles bent elbow. It's a little bit easier for the client, smaller lever. And elbow, and you do those in both directions. So you can see as the arms go back, they're going to want to pop the ribs off. Eleanor's doing a great job not to do that. Do you want to show maybe a straight arm version? It's heavier, but for the stronger clients, like someone like your Eleanor's, let them do it with straight arms. Good. So any kind of arm series you can imagine, it's probably going to, on the roller, it's probably going to open the chest. You could then add in all your leg series like your tabletops and dead bug kind of combinations. Okay, so now we're going to shift slightly and we're going to turn the roller the other way. Put it at the base of the shoulder blades and we're going to do just a little bit of bridging here. So let's pop the hands behind the head. And again, notice we're into a beautiful opening here across the shoulders. We're going to just lift the hips up. I might actually use the ball again. And then lower. So we're going to do all that bridging with that thoracic opening. So thoracic extension and shoulder opening. One more. You could add in ball squeezes. We've seen those before in some of the other courses. Good. And one more. Just hold. Great. And then come down. Okay, now this one's a little brutal. We're going to do a variation of our chest opener. Hands behind the head. Face this way for me, Eleanor. Good. Come on your side. Good. This is tricky because you're going to get into some trigger points around your rotator cuff. So clients will find this quite strong. This is the book openers that we saw already. It's also the sideline rotation. So from here, while we press into the roller, we're also going to twist. Often yelps will ensue. Good. You can add some forward rounding and protraction as well. Good, and go again. Like we've seen before, we're not moving the hips at all. Okay, just that thoracic area. This is all about thoracic moving, which is going to open the anterior shoulders. Good work. Any trigger points in there?
Yeah.
Good. And out. So all the same cueing applies. Great work. So all those little variations you saw in the different positions, thanks Eleanor, are all about the same thing. Get this open. All the clients, nearly all the clients are going to need that. And your pregnant women are as well, but some of those modifications won't be appropriate as they're on their back.